Matt's getting exactly what he wanted. He's getting exactly what he snuck around with. He's getting exactly what he partnered with. He's getting exactly what he's paid for. See, he thought that all this was Gino, but now he's found out that all of this is him. And I don't feel sorry for him. What about you? Let's get into 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, Season 9, Episode 13. Matt and Jasmine. So, look, on this particular episode, we see the same old with Jasmine. Now, we done already sat down with Gino's family and found out what was going on downtown with Gino. Uncle Marco is just crying, saying he really didn't love her. She had used him for a daddy figure, and and then turned around and did this to his nephew. Okay. So we see the two of them, going into a clothes store. Matt, they going in and looking for some stuff for the baby. Now, we remember last week when Matt was, quite challenged with the fact that he was having a little girl. He has his reasons for not wanting a little girl. He's already expressed that to Jasmine, and Jasmine, of course, is going to take this and use this as a dagger in his heart, a tool to be at him, and an excuse to be yelling and screaming. Matt saw and had an opportunity to see the way that Jasmine treated the way that Jasmine treated Gino, because he has a whole lot of criticisms about what Gino has done or hasn't done or what Gino deserved. And now guess what? The shoe is on the other foot. So they in the store and Matt is like, all you thinking about is pink. He says since the ultrasound, he feels like he is fully maxed out on anxiety because he is terrified of being a dad to a girl. He said Jasmine just don't know nothing about it. She doesn't understand that. He says the way that he is, it's a huge jump for him. So it's a little scary. He said basically, in other words, it's a shame to him. He said he didn't think that this was going to happen, but that's what he gets for not understanding. He said it's like 50-50, it's a 50-50 shot on whether or not you're going to get a girl or a boy. And he says, and like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was really stupid in having sex with Jasmine, unprotected sex. It's a 50-50 chance that she was going to get pregnant. So Matt is already showing us that he don't want to be no baby daddy to Jasmine. He just wanted to get up in it and come up out of it. And he didn't think that she would be, at her old age, as she says, almost 40, having a baby. He didn't think that she wouldn't protect herself. So he didn't protect himself. So they end up in the clothes store and everything. He pulls up a little green shirt and he says, here's a green shirt for the baby. It's a gator. Remember, you like alligators? And Jasmine was like, no, she's looking at him all crooked eyes as if he's up in the store cursing the cashier out, and says, no, she ain't gonna like it. He said, then we can have matching camouflage. So Jasmine said, it's a girl. She's not gonna like that. How do you know? She said, you want to convince yourself, Matt, that it's not a baby girl, and you want to buy stuff with that hopes that, it's not. The baby's going to grow up and be a little girl. And what you're trying to do by, getting colors that are not pink ain't going to happen. She said, it's just been a few days since the ultrasound, and Matt has been ungrateful. He been ungrateful for this baby girl. I don't think that that's what Matt was communicating. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, I wanted a boy. Oh my God, did I want a boy? Didn't mean that I love my baby any less. Didn't mean that if it was a girl and it turned out being a girl, that I wasn't going to take care of it and love it. Sometimes we just have thoughts in our minds that this is what we want. We want this particular agenda. And I thought that, because I was such a tomboy for so long, that I would not be able to raise up a feminine child. I didn't think that I would be a good girl mom, but I'm an excellent girl mom. I thought that boys had always thought, looking at my brothers versus looking at my sisters in the home, I just always thought that boys had it easier and it was easier to raise boys. Coming to find out, it's just as challenging to raise any of them. But that did not mean that I didn't love my baby, and I could not love my baby and I could not make the adjustment. I did not know what I was having, right? Because every ultrasound and sonogram, every sonogram that I did never revealed the gender. Because my baby was always crunched up in the wrong position. And, back then, all them days, almost 30 years ago, we didn't have modern technology like y'all can see the face and everything else, the nose, and you can see everything. Back in that day, it was a shock. So I did not know what my baby was until my baby was birthed. And once I had a girl, I made the adjustments. But it was so funny because when I was going to look at some clothes, I had my little niece with me. I think she was probably maybe about 4 or 5. And she said, Auntie, you having a girl. I, like Matt, did not want a girl. I just did not think that I was going to be able to do it. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section if y'all feel like or felt the same way. So anyway, um, she said it's been several days since the ultrasound, and Matt has been so ungrateful for this baby girl. She said his first baby girl. She said, you're acting like this is the end of the world because you having a daughter. And she said, do you know how many people in the world wish they were experiencing what you're experiencing right now? I can only think of one, and that's Gino. Gino is the only man that wanted to have a baby by you, Jasmine. And you have devastated him. And I don't think it's by coincidence. And I may have said this before in another video. I don't think it was by coincidence that she didn't have a baby by Gino. I think she on purpose didn't have one by Gino. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all's is. She said they would trade everything they have to be in your shoes. And Matt, this is your response. What is your problem with women? Is there something I don't know? Matt was like, look, don't even go there. He said, like I don't know, because again, not only am I a boy, Jasmine, but I am the oldest in my family. And Matt said, growing up as the oldest, he always had to look out for the younger kids. He said, so in his mind, it always had to be a boy because a boy has has all this, right? And he said, and I hear you. I don't know what it's like to be you. I only know what it's like to be me. So I've always been the one that has to watch out for everybody. And so Jasmine was like, so are you saying we weak because we're girls? We are the softer gender. It just is what it is, Jasmine. And all that talk that you be talking and all that barking that you be doing, then you turn around and cry and play victim. I can't stand Jasmine. And I think the more that we say that we don't like a person, the more TLC is determined that they're going to put them in our faces season after season, episode after episode, spinoff after spinoff. I think we're going to have to just start liking Jasmine in order for them to get rid of her, because everybody that we like, they gone. But see, Jasmine don't have no other income. This is all she know to do and spread her anyway. So Matt was like, I didn't think that it was going to be like this. So Jasmine was like, why not? She said, I'm not going to expose my daughter. See, possessive. Is it Matt's daughter or not? Or is it Gino's baby? I can tell you one thing about it, and I don't usually like talking about kids. That baby got a big old head. That baby got a big old head. Let me make sure that I'm live with y'all. Hold on for a second. Am I live with y'all? Hold on. Let me go and check the contents of this because I did do something. I don't see anybody in the comment section, so that's making me wonder whether or not I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. Am I live publicly? Yeah, I'm live publicly. Okay, y'all just being quiet. Okay. Y'all go ahead and be quiet. I sit out here and talk to myself. I will sit out here and talk to myself. Hold on for a second, y'all. Let me go and check this thing. Because it says that I'm live, but sometimes, let me see. Let me go right here. This will show me. Okay. So y'all live with me. It's just not showing the comments. So anyway, let me get back to doing what I do best, and that's talking my talk. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section after the replay, what y'all think about this, okay? But we're going to keep on pushing and we're going to keep on moving on because I got to go to bed. So Jasmine says that she's not going to expose her daughter to an environment of not being loved, of being unloved and rejected, because that's what she went through with her father. She says her dad, the minute that he knew she was a girl, he rejected her and he disappeared. I don't know, Sugar 48. They here though. It's about 100 people here, but nobody said anything, and it's okay. She says, my dad, the minute that he knew, he rejected her. And she said that he's doing the same thing to his daughter, and this is really breaking her heart. But here's the thing that trips me out about it. It's the same thing she's doing with her sons. Her sons are without a mother. Where's Jasmine in her son's life? Do y'all hear her talk about her? Not at all. Not at all. Matt don't feel like he's doing anything wrong by picking out other colors, and I don't know either. So Matt said, I'm just picking out, some little cowboy clothes. And she was like, no, Matt, I'm not talking about the clothes. I'm talking about your attitude since you knew it was a girl. She says, my father left me when I was 3. And ever since I haven't had any communication with him, I only reached out to him when I graduated from the university with honors because I wanted to show him that, hey, even though you were not in the picture, I became became a successful person. Where, Jasmine? Where? You did all that work at the university, and this is how you going out being a D-list star on TLC's 90 Day Fiance franchise? Are you kidding me? And the only reason why you wanted to be in your father's face is because you wanted to say nana and a boo-boo. You got an evil spirit, boo. You really need to get jacked. She said, and I thought it was too late for me to know my dad. And he basically told me he had no interest in having a daughter or being a part of my life. She said, it's like the neighbors that follow me everywhere. Like the men in my life are obsessed with having boys and looking at women like they're not worthy. That is not this her not having a daughter has nothing to do. I mean, her having a daughter and not a son has nothing to do with her worthiness. Because Jasmine has 2 sons that we don't know where the hell they are. Let's just go ahead and keep it a buck. We don't know where those boys are. We ain't heard nothing about them. Matt was like, everything's fine. And Jasmine was like, no, everything is not fine. So Matt was like, okay, so it's not that I don't love her. It has nothing to do with that. And she was like, and so why you say her like disrespectful? Because he was like, it's not like I don't love her. She felt like the way he said it was disrespectful. She says, if it's not what you wanted, if you cannot love this child because it's a girl, I'm okay with doing this alone. Then bye, Jasmine, because since you've been here, you've only lived off of a man. She said, if you don't prove to me that you're father material for my daughter. You're out of my life. Bye, Jasmine. Jasmine talks so much trash. She is so manipulative and evil, in my opinion. So Matt was like, okay, well, you got to prove yourself too. They in there arguing about the baby. She throws clothes up in his face. And the next thing you know, she's sitting out there on the car. Now she want to really get into an argument. She's sitting out there on the car. Matt comes out like, what's up? God dang, what's up? She was like, are you serious? You didn't buy anything for the baby. Do you want this stuff? I don't know what's happening. Matt was like, what are you talking about, Jasmine? Matt flat out told her, you now I understand what Gino was saying. You want to be at war with me. You want to be an enemy to me. You want to argue. You like to argue about things. And that's why Gino had gotten to the point where he was arguing with you so much that he didn't want to be with you in any kind of way. And it is the truth. It's absolutely the truth. She sits there in Matt's face and tells Matt that the baby heard him. Matt was like, the baby don't even know. First of all, the baby can't hear him. Second of all, like Matt said, the baby doesn't even know English. It doesn't know whether it's going to be Spanish speaking. It doesn't know what it's going to be. So how does the baby hear? She's going to say the baby knows through my feelings. Jasmine, you taking that overboard. But she's so manipulative. Then she tells him that he's worse than her father. What a low blow. Matt told her, you are trying to make me your enemy. But I'm not your enemy. He said, I don't know why you are wanting to jump on my head and pull my hair out. She said to the baby, when you saw your daughter, you weren't happy. And the baby could feel that energy. She said, when you were looking for a male part, the baby knew that you was looking for the male part because you was saying it out loud. And the baby was listening. And he was like, what? He said, you know what, Jasmine? Let's just go ahead and be serious about this. This is the same kind of stuff and the same problem you were having with Gino. And you know, last week when she sat there and the girl said something about Gina, and she said, oh, maybe that's a sign that I'm supposed to name the baby Gino. How did she think that Matt felt? Well, she threw that up in his face. Then she gonna sit up there and tell me, you don't have no idea what I'm going through at my age having a baby at almost 40. Jasmine, what's the problem? He said, look, I know you hormonal. You're hormonal. But if you're screaming and yelling all the time, you'll find the right word. I'm not the bad person. Now she's sitting up there saying, I'm the bad person. It's me. I'm the bad person. It is absolutely you, Jasmine. You are the bad person. They get in the car. She goes in the back seat because she wants to sit in the back seat. And Matt goes on and says, I ain't trying to make this hard. It's not that I'm not going to love the baby, Jasmine. I'm going to love the baby. He says, I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm not trying to be that person. I'm really not. And I'm not trying to argue with you. And I'm not trying to affect your feelings. I'm trying to communicate with you that I have an issue and I am afraid of being a girl dad. And y'all, that's real, real. People may not talk about it, but it's really real with a lot of men. They don't know whether or not they have it in them to be soft for a little girl. Just like I did not think that I had it in me. I thought as rough and tough as I was, I needed to have a little boy. I really did. But that ain't what I got. That's not what I got. And instantly, when I saw that baby come out of me, I loved her. And I still do. And as I said, I am a good mom to a girl. But I always thought, first of all, I didn't want any kids, but I always thought if I did have one, it gotta be a boy. And it wasn't. So it's real to have feelings. It doesn't make you, in my opinion, a sexist person because you see yourself better suited at raising one gender over another. We all have imaginations about um, what we want to be in life, what we want to do in life, what we want to attain in life. And we can't have imaginations of raising a certain child. You understand what I'm saying? So I won't go and say that that's what Matt is. I think that Matt has real fear that a lot of people have. And maybe he is not coming off that way. Maybe the edits are not making people understand that this is not something that is uncommon. It's just not. And I remember when my daughter was born, um, the first person that called it, I think it was a nurse, I want to say. And she said, it's a boy. And my doctor said, I don't know what you're seeing. This is a girl. So the first thing that I heard, it was a boy. And I had to easily and quickly make the adjustment. I got a girl. I got a baby with 10 toes and 10 fingers, a beating heart, lungs that are working. I got a baby girl. And as I said, I've loved her since. And I believe just looking at all of the pictures and videos that he does, he has made that adjustment. And Jasmine wants to make footage. She wants to bring shock and drama. And so she's making something big out of something small because Jasmine does not, in my opinion, care about the men who are around her. They are only a tool and an instrument for her to play on to get what she wants to get. But she don't know, honey, that Gino and already called immigration. Now she's still here in the US. I don't know, what has happened with that. We will find that out on the next episode. But okay. Anyway, it is late. Yes, she is Sugar 48. Jasmine is absolutely sickening. So it is late, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hanging in there with me. Thank you to the replay gang. Let me know down in the comments what you all think about this. And until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in the street and in the water. Bye, y'all.